Welcome to another episode of the INH show where we talk about geek culture, news, and lifestyle. So we are back in business, and we have done a talk about the Batman vs. Superman trailer.
And now we're going to talk about the other comic book movie about two superheroes fighting each other. Yes.
Cap. Civil War!
Civil War, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Or Captain America versus Iron Man.
Cool. So, let's we're going to do this our usual thing. We're going to pop it up there. We're going to check out the trailer. And we've seen this before, but...
We have.
Let's go through it again. Here
I just want to watch it again.
It's cool,
it's,
right?
Yeah, it's
cool.
worth
Here we
watching
go.
again. Okay.
Buck.
Oh, it's already badass.
Man, I wish I could look like Chris Evans. I mean, forget about Henry Cavill.
He's like the perfect look, right? Chiseled chin.
Well, you know, like Tony says, you know, his perfect teeth. You know, like,
yes, I love that line.
And you know, like as a dentist, I can say that he does have very good teeth.
I'm planning on taking you alive.
Not like Tom Cruise.
It looks so cool already. I reckon on the first day that this came out, I've watched it at least 8 times, one after the other.
Now this is cool. This character. Oh look, there's a drop kick right there. You know what I noticed in Marvel movies? There's a lot of wrestling moves in the action
Oh, yeah?
scenes. There's a lot of wrestling moves.
With unlimited power and no supervision.
But this is cool.
That's something the world can no longer tolerate.
Yeah, I thought that's cool. That they brought him back.
They're like tying it all in together, right?
Well, we haven't seen him since like Incredible Hulk, so.
Right.
Please. You only make this worse.
You saying you'll arrest me?
So I guess the one thing. Sorry, you're gonna.
Go.
I was gonna say that the one thing about this movie is that here we go. Is it really a Captain America movie? Which is, I guess, what everyone has been saying.
Right. Oh, we'll discuss that after in a second, but yeah.
The bad guys. That's not the way I see it. Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
That's so cool! I love that!
I just want to make
And the
sure
Falcon, I gotta say, the Falcon actually looks cool. The action scene he's in actually looks really great. And we saw that in Ant-Man, right?
Well,
but that was
Falcon
cool.
yeah,
I
Falcon
love
was
that.
cool.
Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
What do? We fight.
Black Panther.
See some more wrestling moves. Oh, no, that's cool. I really like the scene where he's got the helicopter, you know?
just yank, you know,
And that's cool as well. They're trying to pull the thing off.
I love this. Where is it?
You know I wouldn't do
Where
this
they're
if I
like
had
Tony
no choice.
Stark, Iron Man versus the two of them. So cool.
So was I.
That's a bit tear jerking, isn't it?
Well,
It's sad. It's sad. This is cool. I love this. Oh man, it's so cool.
now you know that line about how Tony was like, you know, like Bucky's
was
my
I.
friend. Our buddy Brad Walker. Yeah, I'm naming names. You know.
Name drop.
Now he actually did mention it. Like that's a bit of a stretch. Like, were they ever really friends? You know, like Tony and Cap. But nevertheless, brilliant trailer. Yep, you've seen it multiple times. I've seen it many times. Now this does a good job of selling the movie,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because
Oh,
it gives us enough of Cap. Well, the climax is Captain America versus Tony, and I guess Winter Soldier as well. That scene was really good, really well done. Now, could you imagine if Batman vs Superman could somehow do that? Like, if they could somehow
didn't do too
depower.
much.
Yeah, they gave us enough. Like, I want to see more. One criticism that I may have is that, well, we've already seen Hulkbuster versus Hulk. We've seen Thor versus Iron Man, and they were cool, but they didn't really amount to too much. So the pessimist in me is wondering whether, you know, how much of this fight is actually going to go on.
Right.
You know, like, because we know that, well, actually, we don't know that by the end of it, they're all going to become friends again.
My thoughts is that, and this is a bit of a spoiler, is that obviously Cap's gonna die.
What makes you think that's going to be the case?
Because that eventually happened in Civil War. I know it's hard for me to do the whole...
Well,
you
it didn't
can't
happen in
translate-
Civil War, though.
No, it happens
like after the-
just after, right? He gets shot.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the Civil War
Right.
thing itself.
Well, I reckon something's gonna happen. Something's within that. That's what I just reckon. And it would be cool to see it. That being said, going back to what you sort of said before, is this really a Captain America movie? Is it really? To me, it's not. To me, it's like almost like an Avengers movie, because that's one thing that I will say that was a bit weird, was the fact that they called it Captain America Civil War. And back in the day when I was reading the books, it was Civil War was the main Avengers book or its main story, and then you've got all the other normal books.
Well, it had Fantastic Four, it had X-Men, it had Avengers.
Yeah, and it's got all those like Fantastic Four, Civil War, Spider-Man, Civil War.
It's Civil War in as much as we got two like people fighting against each other, two friends fighting against each other.
And look, that scene was a bit of a tearjerker for me, only because it's like
which scene? That scene where it was like Bucky's my friend.
Yeah, and it's like so was I, because they were buddy-ish.
That scene wasn't.
It's a love-hate relationship.
I will say this: I didn't roll a tear or anything, but the scene where Cap is with Bucky and they, they're suiting up, like that is moving for me. Like when you get family sort of stuff related, that to me is moving. So I don't think I'll cry in this movie, but I'm sure I'll get quite emotional because they have that bond.
You're my Bucky. I'm your Captain America.
Whoa! Now,
you're my Robin.
Why?
I'm your Batman.
Why are you Captain America and Batman?
Captain America.
No.
Hey.
What?
You're my Bucky. If people were chasing after you, I'd come get you. Hey, don't push me away. Hey, you're my Bucky.
The rich, skilled, philanthropist, and the orphan who lives his life on in the circus. Getting back to this trailer. Now, this trailer does a good job of selling the movie. We talked about the Batman vs Superman trailer. And we talked about how it gave us It basically gave us everything, yeah.
It gave us the whole story.
This one gives us a good amount, right?
So it tells you, obviously, there's going to be, divided we fall is the tagline as well. Right? And we know that there's going to be, obviously, the Cap and the Iron Man characters are just going to have butt heads in this. But that's all it really tells you. Like, it breaks up the Avengers line. Who's in whose team?
It shows us the Avengers, or these new Avengers. It shows us the Black Panther. It shows us enough of the Black Panther.
Yep. Well, and that's one thing. That's one other thing I want to raise up in a second. But I think what it does really well is the fact that it doesn't give us too much. It just tells you there is literally a breakup within the team. Whose side are you going to choose?
Yeah, but I guess the issue is how much of this is a Captain America movie and how much of it is a Iron Man movie, because you figure that Iron Man's going to play a significant role in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he'll be in at least more than half, I would have to think.
Yeah. The other thing, though, if I was worried about spoilers, and again, usually for me, I'm okay with spoilers.
Well, it depends what you classify as a spoiler. Like, nothing in this was really a spoiler for me.
Some people would say that they show who's taking up whose side, right?
Well,
like,
we don't really...
Do you know what I mean? Like, you see the Falcons on Cap's side, you see Black Panther is on Iron Man's side.
We don't really know that Black Panther's on... I mean, we see him fighting.
It seems like it so far.
We don't really know.
But that's the only worry I would have in spoilers. But for me, I'm okay seeing that sort of stuff. I'm like, yes.
I don't think there was any spoilers in this, but I just want to clarify this thing about spoilers. Now, if you had seen the trailer... This one's probably not a good example, but with the Batman vs Superman trailer, if you had seen the trailer and I asked you, did you see the Batman vs Superman trailer? And you said, oh, I can't believe they showed us Doomsday. That's spoiling the trailer for me. Yeah, it's spoiling the trailer. It's spoiling the trailer. The trailer does a good enough job of giving the movie away. But that's a completely different episode. Go watch that episode.
What if I said, what if you said, hey, did you watch the Captain America trailer? And I said, yeah, I can't believe Falcon's chosen Cap's side, or I can't believe Black Panther's chosen Iron Man's side. Would you be like, the spoiler?
That is, I believe that to be a spoiler.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know whether
the trailer.
Yeah, and I don't know whether Black Panther is going to be.
It just looks like it, right?
Because he's fighting. We see him fighting Falcon, and he's running from.
And he kicks Bucky.
Yeah.
Well, that's one other thing in the books. Unless I'm mistaken, he doesn't take a side, right? He actually.
Yeah, I don't
back
recall
and just went, nope.
what. You know what? I tell you what I remember from Civil War, the book. Okay, the Punisher was cool in the book, and that's not going to happen in the movie.
Yep.
And the other bit is that there's a scene where Cap he shakes hands with Iron Man, right? And then Iron Man looks at his hand, is like he's got like Captain. He gave him like a bug sort of thing, and he messes up his armor. I think. I would hope something like that's in the movie. Just a little callback to the book.
That would actually be really cool.
But it's not going to follow the book because
it's not. It's not. It would be cool because I think that the comic books these days, or graphic novels, but the comic books these days are written in a way where you can actually read it and visualize it as a cinema or a film, right? A cinematic sort of. Do you know what I'm sort of saying? A lot of these books these days.
if these days you mean 2015, but when did Civil War come out? Like
2 years ago.
2008 or 7 or something
And they've
like
done
that.
it. They executed it really.
I don't know
well.
whether I would have said it's completely cinematic.
Well, for me, it was like
Alright.
even reading the Ultimates. I know that's jumping back a little bit more, and it's a little bit off-side topic, but again, with that, it was very like I saw everything as a movie, and I thought.
Well, that's because you
play
saw
by
Samuel L.
play-
Jackson, you saw
Yeah,
like
but
Lucy
play
Liu
by
and-
play, you can actually see it coming out as a movie. Do you know what I mean? But going back to my other comment is the Black Panther. So this is one thing that I wanted to ask, and I needed to understand this. Everyone is losing their crap over Black Panther. I don't know about you, but my when this came out, my Facebook feed was like, "Oh my god, Black Panther! Oh my god, Black Panther!" And I'm like, okay. And I've never really loved or hated the Black Panther character, but I don't understand why everyone was going crazy about it.
You probably would have liked him if it was just called Panther, wouldn't you?
Probably. Well, you know, no, but
I don't understand it either.
so let's call
didn't
him.
read
Let's
about-
call him Panther. But why was everyone losing their crap over it? I don't.
I think it's
Was
just
he
because
that-
it's a character that is beloved by a certain
But is
group
it-
of people,
it
and then
does-
they're going to see him
Does he have really that much of a following? Like I never considered
right
him to
below.
be.
I tell you what, any fans, Black Panther fans out there, why don't you tell us what books or
Please.
what arcs we should be reading?
Yeah, please, because
I don't. I think Black Panther's cool. I think visually he looks cool, and I mean for me,
Really?
I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, it evokes a lot of Batman. The silhouette evokes a lot of
exactly.
Batman.
You're saying that because it looks like Batman.
Well,
But it's
it
a Panther.
evokes a little bit of
Panther.
that. So yeah. Look, I don't fully understand the love for Black Panther either.
I guess I never thought him to be a popular character. Is what I'm trying to get at. Right?
Yeah, well-
you know what I'm saying? Like Iron Man, I get it.
But
Captain
like I
America,
said,
okay,
yeah,
but
let us know what we should be reading if you're a Black Panther fan out there. Well, now in this movie we saw Black Panther, we see Falcon, we see Winter Soldier, we see Black Widow, we see the Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
So again, I ask you like, how much of this is going to be is going to have Cap? Now we see Tony. He's being brought into taking Cap, right? That's like
from what I assume it is, yes, from
Now-
the visuals.
initially, it's funny because when I first saw this trailer, and I've seen this trailer about, numerous times as well. Initially, I thought, well, they're setting up Tony to be the villain in this movie. But when I watch it again, he's almost sympathetic, right? Because
Right.
he's being. It seems to me that he's doing this not completely under his own will. He's got a black eye. Now, is that just Tony being Tony, or is he being muscled into? We don't know. But he's a bit sympathetic. You know, he's getting ganged up 2-on-1. That fight scene is fantastic. It looks so
I
good.
love the fact that they're like passing the shield over, passing.
And it's simple things like that that make it that make these Marvel movies so good. You know, they find out these really creative ways because you could so easily just have Cap and Winter Soldier just punching, and then he punches him, he spins around and Cap punches. But they incorporate it so well. Like
They do the fight scenes, the cinematography is great. Well, so
Yeah,
far
the-
from what we've seen, it looks great.
and many Marvel movies have been like that. The Batman vs Superman movie, I get the feeling it's probably just going to be a more straight up 90s action, where it's like, punch. This one looks really good, and I'm always impressed with the action in Marvel movies. And I can follow it all. I never get lost in the movies, in the action.
So let me ask you something. Did you see the Vision in there?
I
don't remember.
don't recall him
don't
being
recall
in
the
it.
Vision. Okay. The next question I have for you, though, is, you ready for it? Which side would you be on?
If it was me,
Yeah.
if it was me, I would follow Cap.
Really?
Yeah, without question.
No way! Really?
I'm his like Asian Falcon. I would do whatever he said.
Yes.
But you know the thing in this movie is that initially I said that Iron Man is the villain, but Cap in this movie almost seems a bit like the villain, because here he is, he's protecting his friend, which is
Who's a
noble
renegade?
trait, yeah.
Who's
He's a renegade. He's been doing things that he wasn't completely.
he's not in control.
Yeah,
He's-
yeah. So that's very noble of Cap to do it, right? But he's doing it against. I guess you could say it's against the law. He's not listening to the people in authority, so much so that they need to bring Iron Man to bring him to bring him in, right? So Cap is almost. I don't know. He's almost like a tweener in this movie. Like, it's a Captain America movie, but do you get what I mean? Like, he's almost positioned as a like an anti-hero almost.
Right. No, I get you. Because he's helping out the renegade, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and he's doing it presumably against the law, like he's harboring a fugitive.
But that's the same thing as the actual book, right? He was going against the law, which the next thing I was going to ask is, do you reckon they'll bring in the Heroes Registration Act in this?
That was the core of the Civil War thing.
That was the core of it. It's like the government said, you know what, enough's enough.
Is that what happened in the Civil War? Because as I remember
what kickstarted was that teen group of
Speedball or something like the reality TV
reality TV, yeah. And then a small town got blown up because of the villain was like supercharged with it. And then that's when the government pretty much said, hey, you know what?
We need accountability, so we're gonna you need to if you want to be a superhero, you got to register.
And which it opened up the floodgates to sort of say if you're a villain or if you're a hero, you can actually sign up, and then you'll be basically employed by the government.
You can sign up.
Yeah, which is Thunderbolts, right?
The villains signed up? I mean, if I was a villain...
It was a mixture. It was a mixture. And that was one thing. They get away with it. They get away with all the crimes in the past and say, you know what, I'm going to register. And
that sounds vaguely familiar.
And then you've got the Thunderbolts, which is like the government team, which are villains, they're evil, but they did dodgy stuff.
Yeah, what?
So that's what kickstarted the Civil War book, but in this one, it almost seemed like it's more so, hey, Cap, pretty much, you were able to do whatever you want, now we need to draw the line.
To me, that's the extent of the Civil War. It's that it's Captain America versus Iron Man. I don't think I'd be surprised if that happened, because then it's going to be the Batman versus Superman issue where you're putting too much into this movie. I mean, as it is, there is quite a lot of stuff going on in this movie, isn't it? And the beauty of this movie is that it builds on so many other...
all the previous...
Yeah, and that's the issue I have with Batman versus Superman. Now, Batman versus Superman conceptually is cool to see it on the big screen.
Right.
But they need to work. Yeah, they need to work a lot. There's history in as much as we know Batman from the movies. We know Superman in pop culture.
Yeah.
But there is very little to build up. Like when I look at Ben Affleck, we don't really associate him with Batman as yet. So this movie, Captain America: Civil War, it builds on all of that.
It's the formula that they've got right, and the tension between Tony and Steve has been building up for quite some time. Even in Age of Ultron. There was quite tensions with him, right?
Yeah,
between the two of them.
And again, if I can quote Brad Walker at I am Brad Walker on Twitter, he did say that when were they ever really friends?
Which is a fair call. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Avengers they sort of had the like they were saying you're just a guy in a fancy suit, and everything special about you came out of a test tube, and I really like that line.
Yeah,
that was an awesome line.
It was cool.
Who would you side with?
I don't know.
Again, we're sort of basing this very loosely on what we know, right?
Right. So because it's a tough one.
Tony is following the law, I guess.
He is following the law.
In his mind, he thinks this is the right thing to do.
Well, in both their minds, it's the right thing to do. Bit of a tough one. If it's following the book with the whole registration act and all that sort of stuff, Cap, hands down, because he's always like
registration.
Yeah, because it's not right. Like look what happened to Spider-Man. The minute he revealed himself, all the villains went after all his loved ones, right? Which happens all the time for him. But it's a tough one.
It's funny because in a real world setting, I probably would be pro registration, but Captain America is, hey, I gotta register, right? In the eyes of many people, I am a superhero, right? I get people out of pain. I save teeth. It's a hard life, right? And I gotta register. There's accountability. So in a real world, I probably would, but I don't know. Even though I'm not really that big a Captain America fan, in as much as I've only read a few of his stories, the idea of Captain America, I really like the idea of Captain America.
Justice.
Yeah. Right? Now with Iron Man, or with Tony specifically, it's been brought up before that he is the engineer of all of the problems in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He creates all of the villains. Yeah. So, to side with Tony is to...
That's a good call.
He probably created Thanos in a test tube somewhere as well in the past. Well, what do you guys think about this trailer? I mean, I think this trailer is so good that even Jose likes it. Am I right, Jose?
Yeah.
Let me know. Comment below.
Bizarro Jose. He's going to be like, yeah, I agree with you.
No. Even Jose knows that this is a good trailer. And the movie will be good. It's funny because next year in May, we're going to get Captain America versus Iron Man. We're going to Captain America versus Iron Man, and we're going to get Trinity, the movie. And I think there will be both good movie experiences, but for different reasons. I think this is
agree.
gonna be very satisfying.
It'll be amazing.
And it's gonna make me want to watch the next movie, which do you know what the next movie's gonna be? Is it like Doctor Strange or
I don't know. There's a whole bunch.
whatever it is?
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. You can
It's just
make
gonna
it.
be awesome.
Yeah, you can make it any character. You can make a Squirrel Girl, and I'll watch the movie. Hey, if there was a Squirrel Girl with some sensuality, sign me up for that.
Cool. Let us know what you think, and let us know which side you would be on. Check out our Facebook page as per normal. We regularly update us when we can, and I guess we will see you guys.
We are back.
next
We will see you
time.
next time.